Squiz Kids acknowledges the traditional owners of the lands on which we podcast, the Turrbal and Gadigal people.
Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello, faithful Squiz Kids listeners, and welcome to the Kids vs. Adults Weekly News Squiz. Your chance to see who's had their listening ears on and been paying the most attention to the week that just was. I'm Bryce Corbett. All week in the Squiz Kids Today podcast, we've been bringing you the big news stories of the day, run through our kid-friendly filter to make sure you know all you need to know about the world around you. Now, it's time to test how much of the week's news you've retained, and in the process, see who's smarter, kids or adults. Plus, of course, because it's a Friday, we've got all today's birthday shout-outs and all the shout-outs for the weekend coming, including the birthday reggae tune, because it wouldn't be a Friday without it. So, here's how the quiz works. 5 questions for kids about the weekend news, then 5 questions for adults. Whoever answers the most correct questions wins. Simples. You ready? Let's do this. Alright kids, here are your 5 questions. Question number 1. Let's start with a sporting one. And all eyes in the tennis world this week were on the big tennis tournament that takes place in London, England every year. What is the name of that tournament? Is it A, Wimbledon, B, Willesden, or C, Wobblybum? Wouldn't it be fun if it was C, Wobblybum? But it's not. It's A, Wimbledon. Question number 2. A big movie starring Australia's own Margot Robbie as one of the world's most popular dolls was released around the world this week. What film covered in pink am I talking about? Yes, of course I'm talking about Barbie. Question number 3. We heard in the podcast this week how a mysterious cylinder washed up on a Western Australian beach, which authorities believed was A, a piece of an alien spaceship, B, part of a rocket's fuel engine boosters, or C, a very elaborate, oversized message in a bottle. Yeah, that's right, it was B, part of a rocket's fuel engine boosters. Question number 4. Victorian Premier Dan Andrews surprised the sporting world this week when he announced his state of Victoria could no longer afford to host which big international sporting event? That's right, I am of course talking about the Commonwealth Games. Question number 5. We heard in the podcast this week how surfers in California were being warned to be careful of what sort of animal which had started biting chunks out of their surfboards. Was it A, a megalodon, B, a very hungry caterpillar, or C, an otter? Yes, well done if you said C, an otter. How did you go, kids? How many did you get right out of 5? Do you reckon that's enough to beat the adults? Yeah, I reckon so too. Okay, adults, now it's your turn. Fire up the grey matter. Here we go. Question number 1. Margot Robbie's Barbie plays opposite which American actor in the role of Ken in the Barbie movie? Yes, that's right. Ken is played by Ryan Gosling. Question number 2. Who did Australia play last night in one of the 2 matches kicking off the FIFA Women's World Cup? Yeah, that's right. They played Ireland. Question number 3. The Northern Hemisphere sweltered this week as heatwaves swept multiple countries. In America, tourists nevertheless flocked to which valley, renowned for being one of the hottest places on Earth? Well done if you said Death Valley. Question number 4. Treasurer Jim Chalmers met with his Chinese counterpart on the fringes of the G20 meeting that took place this week in which country? Yes, well done if you said India. Question number 5. Name the player who won the men's singles final at Wimbledon on Sunday. Yeah, it was indeed Carlos Alcaraz. How did you go, adults? How many did you get right? Did you beat the kids? Who won bragging rights this week? If you've missed any of these cool news stories throughout the week and you want to refresh your memory, all of this week's Squiz Kids episodes are available for a re-listen wherever you get your podcasts. Well, that's the end of the quiz, which means it's time for...
Shout-outs.
It's Friday, 21 July. Today is National Pajama Day, as if you need another excuse to not get out of your jammies. It's also Friday, and you know what that means. Heaps of birthday shout-outs for today and the coming weekend, for which I reckon we need to crack out the old birthday reggae tune. Hit it! And it's a happy birthday today to Raphael from Point Cook, Hannah from North Ainsley, Chloe from Arana Hills, Sophie from Brisbane, Zach from Mayfield, Stella from the Gold Coast, and Jason from Woollahra. Not forgetting, of course, all the Squiz Kids celebrating a birthday over the coming weekend. Happy birthday to Imogen from Tarrenton, Eli from Junee, Harry from Como, Eric from Pitt Town, Dylan from Neeram South, Isabel from Ross Trevor, Henry from Ashgrove, Tyler from Ashmont, Cruz from Tutchakoi, Megan from Mossman Park, Scarlett from Blacktown, Evan from West Melbourne, Aisha from Burpengary, Mia from Ferny Hills, Gallen from North Rocks, and Gray from Five Dock. Well, that's all we have time for. I hope you're enjoying these quizzes. Don't forget, there'll be a new one dropping first thing every Friday morning. And the best bit, they're absolutely free. Just as all our other excellent content is also free. We're talking a Squiz Kids Today news podcast on Mondays, Wednesdays and Thursdays, a Squiz Kids shortcut or a Squiz the World every Tuesday, and for all the teachers out there, there's a Classroom Companion, our teacher-produced daily classroom activity sheets, curriculum aligned and tied to the daily podcast twice a week, now on Mondays and Wednesdays. Genius. Check it all out at squizkids.com.au or simply subscribe to Squiz Kids in your favourite podcasting app and all this groovy content will magically appear. For now though, this is Bryce Corbett signing off and reminding you all to get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out.